Hello, Paul. I'm Brianna Schlemmer. Finally nice to meet you. Okay, here's my speech. It can wait. Every time the buzz or ring of your cell phone goes off, it has to be picked up or the next message has to be answered, said many people. They're wrong. Driving and talking on the phone is still a concern. However, most people either have headsets or Bluetooth hooked up in their cars. Texting and driving is more of a concern in today's society. People just can't put their cell phones down. As of December 2012, 171.3 billion text messages were sent in the U.S. Every month, says Distraction.gov. The three people I interviewed about this topic all said they have texted while driving at some point in their life. Mark Montero, who is a 19-year-old boy who has his own car and license. He has been driving for about 2 years now and has never been pulled over. I asked him if he is distracted by anything while driving. He said yes, mostly texting. It is a form of distraction driving. This is taking your attention off the road. Text messages requires visual, manual, and cognitive attention from the driver. It is by far the most alarming distraction, said Distraction.gov. Texting and driving is very common in today's society with all the new electronic devices, and people need to be aware about how dangerous it really is. Have you ever been driving and the person in front of you has suddenly stopped short and you have to slam on your brakes? If the answer is yes, this is because your eyes weren't on the road. It's very scary when you have to do that because you don't know if your car will stop in time. Shelley Schlemmer, who was someone I interviewed, said that she was once driving and had to stop short because of a failed turning signal. Boom from behind. She got rear-ended, and the person admitted to texting and not paying attention. In 2012 alone, 3,328 people were killed in a distracted driving crash, and 421,000 were injured, said Distraction.gov. What is the most important thing that people need to constantly what is it so important that people need to constantly text and drive? I tend to ask myself this question all the time. 71% of teens and young people say they have composed or sent a text message while driving, said NHTSA.gov. More than half of the population behind the wheel is texting while driving. What a scary image. Mike Tremandalis is a landscaper and owns his own business. I was driving in the car with him one day and he picked up his phone to read something. I snatched it right out of his hands, and my exact words were, "Don't look at your phone while driving." His response was, "It's a very important email that I have to respond to." People don't understand that 5 seconds is the average time your eyes are off the road while texting or reading something. While traveling at 55 miles per hour, that's enough time to convert the length of a football field, blindfolded, said Distraction.gov. This refers to an email too, because your eyes are off the road. When operating a motor vehicle, 100% should be on the road and focused on your surroundings. The Virginia Tech Transportation Institute found that text messaging creates a crash risk 23 times worse than driving while not distracted. This is almost 25% more likely to get into an accident while texting and driving. Other risks that are increased while distracted driving comes in play are dialing a number, which is a 2.8 times risk, talking and listening, which is a 1.3 times risk, and reaching for a device, example for a phone, is 1.4 times risk, says textinganddravingsafety.com. Many people believe that texting and driving is not a problem. 3 out of 3 people I interviewed said that texting and driving is very easy. 55% of Americans say it is easy to text while drive. Yes, texting is an easy task, but trying to multitask by texting and driving is very dangerous. Mark Montero says he's a pro at texting and driving, as well as 77% of Americans are very or somewhat confident that they can safely text while drive. It is a problem when teens who text and drive spend 10% of their driving time out of their own lane. There isn't anything beneficial about actually texting and driving. It's beneficial to have a cell phone on you at all times, just in case of any type of emergency. By then I mean pulling off the road to answer an important text message, not taking out your phone and reading or typing a message while driving. Your mind and eyes are not focused on the road, therefore 100% is not there. It only takes a second for your eyes to be off the road, and there is a chance of something happening. Texting and driving is not only a dangerous task that everyone should be aware about, but it is also a law in Connecticut. All Connecticut drivers are prohibited from texting, that is, typing, sending, or reading a text message while a handheld mobile telephone or mobile electronic device. Exceptions to the rule exist for emergency calls and calls made while using a hands-free device, says drivinglaws.org. In Connecticut, if you're over the age of 18 and get stopped by a police officer for texting, the first fine is $100, a second fine is $150, and the third fine is $200. If you are under the age of 18, the first offense is a 30-day license suspension and $125 reactivation from the court fines. The second offense of offenses a 6-month suspension or until the teen driver turns 18, whichever is longer. There's also a $125 license restoration fee plus court fees, says driverslaws.org. Connecticut is very serious when it comes to texting and driving, especially with teens, because most accidents are with teens because of texting and driving. We as a community need to put an end to texting and driving, informing young adults and teens about texting and driving. I, as a teen, sometimes feel when people tell me advice, it just goes in one ear and out the other. The information about texting and driving is very important for not only teens, but everyone who gets behind the wheel. By texting and driving, not only are you putting yourself in danger, however, everyone else who is on the road. Many lives are taken year after year because of an electronic device that people can't seem to just put down for more than 2 minutes. Many cell phone companies try to enforce how dangerous it is. They also do campaigns for teens to sign a pledge as to that they won't text and drive. Cops should crack down and be more strict when it comes to teens doing this horrible act. People can only do so much to help to inform a person. What they do with the information is on them. Teens need to open their eyes and realize texting and driving is not a game or a joke. Why risk your life for LOL? It can wait.